What's up, legends, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're out on the KTM 890 Duke R. I've been waiting to ride this for quite some time and I think you're going to like it. Stick around. Yoo! Welcome back to the channel, guys. Here we are on the Duke 890R, a bike I've been looking forward to riding for quite a while. And the reason I've been wanting to ride this is because so many people have compared this to things like the Hypermotard 950, the Tuono 660, you know, that type of sector. And so far, I don't see the comparison in either of those bikes whatsoever. Great bike. I mean, look, great engine, handles really well. I mean, it's just set up. This is the standard version, the standard bog standard, so it doesn't have the cruise control, which I think you can get for about $400. It doesn't have a quick shifter, which again is a software upgrade. So those things are missing on this bike. But look, I mean, it's on first impressions. Is it comfortable? Yeah, it's reasonably comfortable. Upright riding position, good seat height. It's probably, I don't exactly know how high, but I'm guessing probably somewhere around the 32 level. The gentleman parts get squished up against this tank, which sucks. They really do. You know, people say that this bike is a bit more manageable than things like the 1290, a bit more approachable. Yeah, I suppose it is. I think they're totally different beasts altogether. I don't see the correlation between either of these bikes. You know, they're completely different machines. And I don't think the buyer for this is a buyer for a 1290. They're totally different machines. Handles really well, you know. I mean, this is set up as a sports bike, pretty much. It's you know, got power cut Michelin tyres on it, you know, so which kind of leads me to think that KTM, I mean, look, KTM refer to this bike as the scalpel, and I can see why. Like, I mean, it's the chassis on it's pretty damn special. You know, it and I think that if you've got it in some twisty roads, you'd be none too happy. You know, it's got plenty of get up and go. 889cc motor, which gives you about 120 brake horsepower and 68 newton meters of torque in the engine, which is cool. You know, it is very thin between the knees here. It looks like it's got a lot of, I mean, the bodywork here, it does look like it's big, but it really isn't when you're sitting on it. It's quite a thin bike. It's an aggressive riding position. Yeah, a little bit. You lean forward a little bit, not too much. But kind of fun. Weird. I mean, you've got in terms of the, like, just things like this, indicators. It flashes like a hazard light, which I find frustrating. So the riding modes are sport, street and rain, and then if you do the software upgrade, you can also get a track version as well, which is cool. So you can you've got 9 levels of traction control you can set in that, so there's plenty going on. So you've got a fuel gauge here as well, temperature, time, you've got the outside temperature, trip and your range. The mirrors are good. It seems very compliant. mean, it's a pretty basic machine, to be truthful. I mean, if you wanted something to track, it'd probably be pretty fun. Here we go, the KTM 890 Duke R. I mean, just by looking at it, super aggressive engine, super aggressive looks. I mean, you've got the unmistakable Duke headlight, but she just looks like she wants to go. Power cut Michelin tyres, which are essentially just a race slick with a few little things. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to be riding this in the wet. I reckon you'd be slipping all over the place. I mean, you've got that great stainless steel exhaust. I mean, she looks the business. It looks like it's just a straight out of the box, ready to race, which is, you know, KTM's logo, ready to race machine. But yeah, absolute cracker. I'll show you just in the dash here. So we've got your favourite, so you can duck into that. You're in sport mode, gives you all the fuel range, all that sort of stuff. I like this return switch. I think that's great. We can go down to trips and data. You've got your ride modes, so sport, street, rain, and then into motorcycle. So your ABS modes, you can go and change that if you want to, the shift light, etc, etc. 889 cc motor, which is great. This one's set up with a pinion. You can get block offs and hangers for this, and also there's a cowl that comes with that as well. So if you just want it as a straight out race bike, then you can rock and roll with that. Just in terms of the specs, about 120 brake horsepower and 68 newton meters of torque. If you want something in this sector, definitely worthwhile considering. You got these Brembo monobrake. You got the Brembo monoblock brake calipers and WP Apex forks, and the WP Apex suspension. This is fully adjustable as well, which is all up here. Yeah, I mean, it's ready to go. You would not be disappointed owning this. Did I find it comfortable? Yeah, look, I mean, it hasn't been too bad. As I sort of said to you, that tank really sort of gets to you a bit, you know, just in terms of the seating position. It wasn't my favourite. The chassis is fantastic. KTM's done a brilliant job in building that. It's just a very, very good package altogether. You know, besides the fact you don't get a quick shifter or cruise control, which you've got to buy as well, and update to the track mode. But there you go. As a package, not a bad thing. Let's get back on and have a bit more of a blast. Yeah, you can have fun on this. It's got a good amount of torque. The power to weight ratio is actually very, very good. And when you give it a wristful, it actually wants to go and have some fun. You can tell that what they were thinking in terms of when they created this, you know, just wanting to make it just as sporty as possible. Without doubt, there's, you know, they've created something very, very good here. Oh dear me. It's got a lovely pop about it too, you know, that exhaust note. So we're just going to take it onto the freeway. We'll just give it a bit of a blast. We'll just see what it's like at highway speed. I mean, look, so far it's very interesting because riding this bike, you can really see where KTM was going with this. Just the way that it tilts. I mean, I don't think there'd be too much that would be able to keep up with this, you know, in the twisties. It just tilts over, like it just wants to get into corners. It's fantastic, really, really good. I mean, has it got its shortcomings? Yeah, sure. It's missing a couple of things that I'd probably like to see, but you know, if you're after a rider's bike, a real rider's bike, then yeah, this could be something very, very cool for you. I mean, it's interesting because even the pegs on this, they feel like they're set up for racing. I mean, there's zero protection from the wind, being a naked. That's something I'm noticing. So I don't know if you're using this as a commuter and you have to do a lot of highway stuff. I don't know how you'd feel about that. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be riding this bike on a daily basis. You know, if you had to do freeway stints. I mean, it's great if you've got twisties and all that sort of stuff, and you know, that's wonderful. But just the way that this is set up, it's, I don't know, I wouldn't want to be riding this for long periods of time on a freeway. Even getting to the twisties, I reckon it'll drive you nuts. It's just this upright, you know, it's the same as the same problem I have with a Hyper. You just get belted in the chest, and it just, yeah, it's not fun at all. And it's got a lovely little burble about it. I mean, look, see how good it is just in terms of, I mean, so for around town and that sort of stuff, this thing would be brilliant. You know, it's got plenty of pick up and go, very, very nimble, very easy to ride. Yeah, doesn't really fight you very much. It's got plenty of get up and go as well, just to keep you interested. Yeah, I think if you're looking for something in the naked sector, you know, and this is cheap too. I mean, these, I think from memory, you pick one of these up for about 17 grand, I want to say, something in that order. But not a bad little package for that. But it does put a smile on your face. Big smiles, big smiles, big smiles. And that's what this bike's all about, I reckon. Is just having a good old time. You can also get a heap of parts for these bikes too. That's the other thing. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do on these, aftermarket things. Yeah, like Rock Bagros, I think it's called. Yeah, so he's a stunt rider. Yeah, they've got heaps and heaps of stuff that you can do for these, from exhaust to sticker packs and carbon fibre and all sorts of stuff, stunt packs, everything. So, which I think is pretty damn cool, because, you know, it really individualised them. And I think if you're into something at this sort of money, then you know, being able to individualise, it's pretty cool, you know, not feel like you're spending too much of the hard-earned. It was good. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, really appreciate it. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and first impressions on the KTM 890 Duke R. She's not a bad thing. See you soon.